Welcome to BackPackTrack, the solo travel podcast for people who think one backpack is a lifestyle. In today's episode, actually, I do not want to provide any travel tips. Okay, maybe that might be not true. I want to provide one tip, but it's really obvious. But anyways, today I actually want to use the opportunity to talk about my experience. Actually, I want to talk about one of the best experiences I've made so far here in Japan. And for those of you who are listening more often to my podcast, at the moment I'm living in Japan, and I immerse within the culture, immerse with the daily dose of studying this language and working somewhere where I don't have much clue. And yeah, I was literally able to experience one of the best experiences I've ever had here in Japan. And I've been to Japan many times, this is my third time. And of course, I've done a lot of touristy shit too. Not gonna lie, guilty. I think everyone does that at some point because, yeah, there's a reason why tourists like these places. It's just nice. But today, actually, my best experience I've made so far, it's really basic. It's like the daily dose of the Japanese life. And it's really, really, yeah, if you think about it, it's an easy activity. It's it's special. And what I want to talk about today is actually my experience visiting a schools festival. Yep. You might think right now, yeah, okay, great. You went to a school festival, good for you. So what is so special on it? Let me tell you. It's amazing. And I'm a huge fan of anime, actually. And every time when you watch anime, especially slice of life animes, there will always be at one point where the protagonist is going to school and they're having a schools event. And schools events, for those of you who don't know anime, they're huge. They're a real big deal. Every class is preparing something, and it can be anything, like a food stall or arts or project. Literally everything is possible. And the whole school usually is putting a lot of effort into this festival. And the festival is just 1 or 2 days at its max long. And I always felt okay, I love anime, but that's a little bit over the top, isn't it? It's an exaggeration. But hell no, I was so wrong. Because I made the experience. And here, a small side note, thank you so much, because a friend of mine who is teaching at the school gave me a ticket, and usually you have no access to, be at the school's event. It's for school kids only, and there were actually also just Japanese people and foreign students or foreign teachers, but in general it was family only. So on this point, many thanks. I really loved this experience, and I would go every time and anytime again. It was phenomenal. And why it was, the reason why it was so phenomenal was just, you could see how much effort literally everyone was putting into this event. It was exactly like the anime, and it was just for a weekend. So in addition to all these efforts, the students also spent their free weekend to host this event. And the school itself, it was huge. It was somewhere in Japan. I will not talk about the details because obviously to protect the kids, the students, the families, the teachers, and it doesn't really matter because I think, honestly, now that I've seen this one, I think every school is doing that, and it's just great. So the school itself was huge. They had like a lot of floors, and every class was preparing something. And to give you some examples, at the beginning, at the entrance, you had like a huge garden. Nah, it was not a garden. It's just like the area where you enter the school. And yeah, there was food's paradise. And since this event also was influenced a little bit more internationally wise, you got food from all over the world. I mean, side note here, it was very stereotypical. So at the US, like the American food stall, you could buy burgers and hot dogs. I mean, a little bit stereotypical, but whatever. And from Mexico, you had guacamole and tortillas. So, but it doesn't matter. It was really good. So for everyone, you could get something. Even for me, like they had vegetarian, even vegan soy meat. I was actually surprised because in Japan, being vegan is a little bit hard. But maybe I will do another episode about that, like nutrition and traveling. Anyways, so I was at that event and there were so many classrooms and so many students. Like, I don't even know, but it was crazy. And it was so cute because everyone was wearing their uniforms and the families were there and they were really proud of their kids. You could just see it. And I understand it because the effort they put into this event, it's just like mind-blowing. Like in Germany, back in the days when I went to school, yeah, we did have events, but no one really put a lot of effort in it. It was more like, yeah, it's mandatory, I have to participate, and But here, in comparison, everyone was so excited, and you had like courses about ikebana. So it's a flower art where you can decorate flowers in kind of a way. It's like very traditional. I have no clue about that. And then you could also watch people like performing the like traditional dances or some sport things, or even like I don't even know how this guitar is, what it's called, but the typical Japanese guitar. Super cool. And as well as students, as well as the teachers, like literally everyone was there and everyone had a good time. And of course, you could also like see like some classes were preparing something more like theoretical. So they had projects and they created posters to study topics. And I'm really honest here, like I didn't read anything because everything was written in Japanese. And yeah, as we all know, my Japanese at the moment is nothing near to fluent level. So yeah, I was just watching the pictures and that was fun too. And yeah, besides that, you could also have like a more immersive experiences. So some classes prepared like haunted houses. So they decorated their whole classroom. They made it dark and they made like all the decorations by themselves. They hide real life ghosts or zombies, whatever is kind of scary in the classroom. So you could enter it and yeah, you had an experiences of ghosts and Halloween. I mean, by the way, like Halloween was coming close, so I think at the whole event there were like 3 different haunted houses. I mean, makes sense. And I also had like dinosaur haunted houses and also something like an utopia house or where you could play games. And another thing you could do was also making your own bag, like painting it, because the art club was, kind of big at this school, even though the main focus was not art. So in the school's kids, actually, they were so talented. Like they had also like a small exhibitions of the art projects the students were doing. And I was kind of surprised. I was like, with the age of 12, I could not draw like this. Crazy! That's so good. And also some things I really enjoyed were, in general, like the whole atmosphere. Like, you could experience literally anything, which is very typical for a Japanese school. And then there was also one classroom where they hosted a little bit of more international connections. And this was the room actually I enjoyed the most because obviously I'm a traveler. I love that when people talk about different countries. So on the walls there were a lot of like posters about like this country and some facts. It was really funny. And then, which was super cute, the students were actually giving a presentation about their experiences, what they experienced when they went abroad. That was, by the way, anyways, really crazy that they were able to do it because they went to Africa, to Kenya, and I felt like, wow, with such a young age and you get the opportunity to travel there, wow, I'm happy for you. That's phenomenal. So they made a presentation about it, and they were also kind of shocked, to be honest. That's what they were saying, that it's so different, and that's like a privilege where, or basically also luck, where you like be born, because the lifestyle of the students they met in Kenya was very different from their lifestyle as a Japanese student. And the way they talked about it, it was really lovely, and they had so much compassion within like themselves and also towards the other students and other people from Kenya. So I felt like, you know what? I think when you when you grow up, you will become a traveler. Maybe not. I hope so, but I think you got like this little spark of traveling, and you see how it is to immerse with different cultures, and you see, of course, there are a lot of differences, but also like that we have so much in common. Like there's a connection, and again, the compassion, and you could really feel it and understand it while they're doing their presentation. And that was just cute. Like, I never experienced anything like that when I was in school, so I felt like, wow, that's such a nice opportunity for them. And here, also my favorite part, since my friend is also an international teacher, she performed her, like, own little show, I'd say, like, dance a little bit and playing the drums and singing. Wow, this woman, lovely voice, super good, and it was all traditional, like, what you do in her country, and it was so interesting, and everyone was just like, wow, again, and it was really cool. Everyone was supportive, and I've had the feeling nothing was fake. Everything was true. Like, it was like the true emotions. And that's why I felt this whole school event, it's crazy. It's so cool, and it's so simple, actually. Like, you just go to a school where the kids and students perform something, you have a good time, and then you go home, and that's it. And again, from my school days, it was always more mandatory. It was forced. No one really was super excited. And this was completely different. The opposite. And honestly, I would like to go to another event. It was just a simple idea, but it was cool. And I'm so grateful that I could experience that. And what I actually want to show with this episode, maybe, which is also kind of a tip, of course, when you're traveling, you will visit tourist attractions. I mean, it's normal, they're great, they're pretty, you can make fun pictures. But I would say you never really experience the real culture or the real life, the daily dose. And with this experience, so me joining a school's event, I mean, it's, I would say, like such a basic thing. Like, a lot of us have the privilege to go to school, and me included, to be honest. When I went to school, I did not really appreciate everything. I did not enjoy my time super much because I rather wanted to be at home and play with friends, meet friends, whatever. So, yeah, I felt so much gratitude actually that I was able to see how it is in a different country, like going to a school event. And it was great. I really loved it. And this was one of these experiences you would never make as a tourist. So when you're traveling and you try to immerse within the culture, if you have connections, like always make connections. So I just, got into this event because one of my friends actually introduced me to her, and she and like us, we connect and we had a good time, and then we became friends. And I'm really grateful for that. And so, because of that, I was able to immerse within like the daily dose of Japanese lifestyle when you are a student. And it was fun. So yeah, that's actually all what I have to say for today. I just wanted to share this amazing experience. And yeah, thanks for listening. And maybe you also have the chance to experience like a traditional, I don't know, school event. And yeah, just take the opportunity, go for it. I would say you will not regret it. So anyways, that's for today, and see you next week.